Well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to be looking at question 3, And question 3 says, at the annual Birdman competition, Arun dresses up in his wingsuit and jumps off the edge of a cliff. Now let's put the edge of a cliff and into the water 6 meters below. So 6 meters below. And he jumps off the edge at 30 degrees to the horizontal at 5 meters per second. So there's the horizontal, there's 30 degrees, and he jumps off at a velocity of 5 meters per second into the water below. So I'll just use meters per second using to the negative 1. And unfortunately, the suit is designed poorly, and rather than gliding, he falls with negligible air resistance on a parabolic trajectory. Use conservation of energy methods to calculate Arun's speed when he is 2.7 meters above the water level. So we've got 2.7 meters above the water level. Okay, well let's call down negative, and let's call up positive. So that way all of our measurements in a vertical. So I'll separate these into two, the vertical components and the horizontal components. So that way we can monitor our components. Now I like saying our initial velocity, our acceleration, our displacement, and our time. Initial velocity, acceleration, displacement, and time, as we consider the different stages. So initially, we are saying that there is a negative acceleration of 9.8 meters per second squared, and that's vertical. So negative 9.8 meters per second squared. In the horizontal, there's no forward force, so meters per second squared. And we have our initial velocity, which is in the horizontal. If you break this up into the adjacent side, and the opposite side is the vertical. So the adjacent side is 5 cos theta. So the horizontal is 5 cos 30 degrees, and that's meters per second. We'll use meters per second. And the vertical is 5 sine 30. 5 sine of 30 in the vertical. And we want the speed when the displacement is, and let's go, we started here, let's put 0 and 2.7 below the launch point. So below the launch point, sorry, this diagram is initially wrong. It's not 2.7 meters above the water. It's 2.7 meters below the launch point. So that's a negative 2.7 meters. Okay, we want our velocity. So this is what we want. And there are 4 equations. There's S equals ut plus half at squared. There's v equals u plus at. And there's v squared equals u squared plus 2as. Now we don't know time, so we won't use the first one or the second one. Let's use this formula here because we know u, a, and s. So v squared is u squared 5 sine of 30 squared plus 2 times acceleration, which is negative 9.8, and displacement, which is negative 2.7. So let's substitute that into our calculator, see what we get. Now we've got 5 times sine of 30, which is 0.5, so that's 2.5 squared, and 2 times 9.8 times 2.7, times 2.7 is 52.92, and we add 2.5 squared plus 6.25, we get 59.17, and that will be in meters per second. All right, so we've got our vertical, I'll put that in black, we've got our vertical, or we've got the square root of 59.17 meters per second. Ooh. Meters per second. So let's put that here and we'll just call it 59.17 meters per second. And we already know our horizontal velocity is 5 cos 30, that doesn't change. Our horizontal, sorry. We've got our vertical, it's a, because we're going down, it will be in the negative direction because we could have plus and minus that. So let's realize this is going down now. So it's going down at square root of 59.17. So what we want is our speed, which is the diagonal of those two components. So we will get our speed is the square root of negative root 59.17 squared plus 5 cos 30 squared, and get the square root. All right, so we've got the square root of 59.17 plus 5 times 30 cos, and get that squared is 18.75 plus 59.17 is the square root of 77.92, which is, and we'll just say 8.8272 ... How many decimal places were we asked? It doesn't say. So let's just say approximately 8.83 meters per second down. Not down, that's our speed, because it's already the diagonal. So that's our speed at a speed of 8.83 meters per second as we're at that point 2.7 meters below the launching pad. Now, there is a part B. Arun's height above the water when he is traveling at 11.1 meters per second. Let's do that in part 2. So I hope this has helped. Until next time, stay happy.